to you from the top of the Poconos, it's The Balcony Show with your host, Ann Thatcher, Bo Summer, and me, the Mad Cat. We have searched the globe for the best in indie music, so you don't have to. So here we go, The Balcony Show.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to The Balcony Show. We are very excited because we have the one, the only, Jimmy Leahey, best known as Dennis DeYoung's lead guitarist. And,
also known as.
Oh, my dude. We'll get into more of his incredible biography, but first, hit it, Dave.
Useless facts. Facts that are freaking useless. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of Useless Facts. So we're just going to jump right into it. So, useless fact number one. Isaac Newton invented the cat door.
Did you know that?
Did not know that.
I did not know
I have a
that
few
either.
of his inventions in my house, though.
Mm-hmm. I apparently, he had a mother and baby cats that used to scratch on his lab door all the time. So he got tired of going over to the door and letting them in and out. So he made the very first cat door.
Wow. Got his sawzall out and drilled a hole in the door.
Probably took him a little longer than it would these days.
Okay, useless fact number two. A group of cats is called a clouder.
As opposed
I did
to
not
a
know
chowder.
that either.
No.
So, cool cats, is that, a clouder of cool cats? So are we, if you have fans, Mad Cat, are they your clouder?
They must be. They must be, but
So Mad Cat needs
the name
a
I have
clouder.
for them certainly isn't Clouder.
Well, we were just talking about fans.
All right, so useless fact number three. A tower was built in Scotland for a cat named Towser in the, Jesus, what a word,
Commemoration.
yeah, that word, of her killing over 30,000 mice in her lifetime.
How did they count?
Yeah,
That's
right?
what
Like-
I want to know. Like, what were they? Did they have like chalk on
If they're like my cat, she just brings it in, leaves
Right?
it right in the living room.
Oh,
and
no.
stuff,
Oh,
So,
my
yeah,
gosh.
you
Oh
could
my
just-
God.
Yeah, I just had that
she just
conversation.
My
take the clicker
cat-
out and go one.
No, they had one of those.
29,000.
What, they have the abacus back there?
Yeah.
There's a big giant abacus with Towser's count on it.
Okay, so useless fact number four. The technical name for a hairball is Bezoar.
Who knew that?
I did not know that either.
See? We're educating you, Jimmy Leahey.
Thank you.
You're going to...
Honey, there's a bezoar on the road.
Yeah, say that to your wife.
And it's not for me.
With that
And all this time I thought it was the much longer name. Hey, you little bastard, don't do that there.
As Dennis DeYoung's guitarist,
Yes.
our first song for the evening is going to be East of Midnight. And
Yeah.
I don't think that takes a big, long introduction, but I would like to know what your input is about that song and how you feel about playing it when you're out with him.
Well, that's on his new record, actually, and we were supposed to perform it March of 2020 for the first time live at a CD release party at, I think it was the Roseland in Chicago, and we we canceled our tour the week before, so I've never performed that live with him yet. So
something to look forward to.
Yes, yeah. So February, we had gone over it and we were ready to, for this show and completely, it was like Thursday night. They were going like, don't check in for Friday's flights, and that was the end.
And
of
did
it,
you played on the album?
Yeah,
with
I'm
this?
on that song. That's
26 East is the name of the
that's
album.
right. Yeah, that was the address he lived. in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
In Chicago?
Yeah, his house. Yeah, in Chicago.
Nothing like it. Oh, used to live,
Or,
right?
Yeah, I used to live. Yeah.
Because that wouldn't be very
And the
smart.
and the band was they were all neighborhood kids, really. His like Chuck and John Panazzo lived across the street from him, so that's how they started their plight, you know.
So how did you get to play with Dennis? How did that happen? How did that connection?
Was it was really an indirect kind of way, but I'll try to make the story short. But I was actually opening for him with John Waite. I was touring with John Waite for about 12 years, and we were his opener for 2 years, and like over the summer we were his opener, and we'd play acoustic. We were an acoustic opener actually, and I met Dennis over the course of that time, and he asked me to record on his previous record, 100 years from now. That record's called, and so which was a thrill. So he so we started hanging out, and he flew me to Chicago to record on that record, and then he slowly. John wasn't really touring a ton at that time, so he asked me if I would join them on some dates, and so I was doing both for a while, which was a little crazy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then he eventually, because he was sensitive about taking me from John, because he really liked John Waite a lot, so it's I was on and off for the first year of playing with him, and then he offered me the full-time job after that. Yeah.
And you took it.
And of course I did. Yeah, definitely. He was
And that was
iconic.
in 2008, right?
Man, for sure. That was 2007 I started playing with him. Yeah. And in 2008 I was touring steadily.
Now, was the other guitarist, is it August?
August,
August.
yes.
What a cool name,
My
though.
buddy, yes. August Zadra.
So you joined him. Was he already in Dennis's band?
No, he was not in the band originally. So there was another guitar player, Tommy Giallo, fantastic guitar player. But and I was in that version of his band. They had a different bass player, and at that time they weren't doing any of Tommy Shaw's songs. They were just doing Dennis songs. And he had not long been out of retirement, to be honest with you. So he. And we were doing a lot of orchestra shows, which was a lot of fun too. So we were doing all his songs with like a 60-piece orchestra behind it. So it was a thrill. And then just one Christmas, like I got an email from our manager, and it's like a YouTube clip, and it goes, "What do you think of this?" And so I clicked on it, and it was like a Styx tribute band from like L.A. And I'm going like, are we all fired? Because I don't know what to think about this, because they were really great. And August was the guitar player, and so they wound up, canning the other guitarist, sadly. A great guy, but he had been with Dennis a lot of years, and August had brought a different thing to this band, because he can sing, all that Tommy Shaw stuff. We started playing Tommy Shaw when he joined, all his songs.
Yeah, East of Midnight, like
Nice.
Really the harmony.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, that just brought me back to Styx
Yes.
years.
That's
without
exactly
a
what I
doubt.
thought.
Absolutely.
Like I felt
Yeah.
that whole. It just had that big Styx sound to it.
Dennis is larger than life,
Yeah.
and all the stuff he does, and even as a person, he's just just an amazing personality.
How did that feel to step out on stage with him the first time?
The first time it was amazing. Really, it was. My first gig with him was in Lisle, Illinois. It was just a festival stage, and there's probably 8,000 to 12,000 people there. For the first concert that I was playing with him, and just to be on the stage playing those songs was amazing, because this stuff was like high school for me. So like "Come Sail Away" was like an anthem. When I was, and all those Styx songs, really. So to be on stage with them at the end of the night, we break into "Come Sail Away," and everybody's got their lighters out, and it was, I felt choked up. It was like amazing experience, and he's been a great guy to work with.
All right, well then we're going to take a break, and we're going to listen to East of Midnight
Yeah. Okay.
by Dennis DeYoung Band off of his 26 East album. So
Okay.
we'll be right back with Jimmy Leahey.
Southside brick bungalow in a lifetime long ago, when I was just a lad of 17. I was searching for connection to the big machine. Feeling lost like everyone, thinking I was the only one, like a tiny spoke in a wheel just spinning round. I was looking for direction when I heard that sound. And it came alive, and it was all I ever needed. And it was revived when the rock began to roll, and I survived. And now when I feel defeated, I hear the best of times, and the music lifts my soul. Just east of midnight, I can hear the late night radio, and like the sunshine, it will point the way. Just east of midnight, I can hear the world in stereo, and like the lifeline, I was saved that day. So I got me a vehicle, a second-hand miracle, just a set of wheels with a dashboard radio. I was cruising down the airwaves in the afterglow. So I turned it up, 'cause it was all I ever needed. I turned it up when the rock began to roll. Now I'm all grown up, and now when I feel defeated, I remember all the times when the music made me whole. Just east of midnight, I can hear the late night radio, and like the sunshine, it will point the way. Just east of midnight, I can hear the world in stereo, and like the lifeline, I was saved that day. Just east of midnight, I can hear the late night radio, and like the sunshine, it will point the way. Just east of midnight, I can hear the world in stereo, and like the lifeline, I was saved that day. Just east of midnight, I can hear the late night radio, and like the sunshine, it will point the way. Just east of midnight, I can hear the world in stereo, and like the lifeline, I was saved that day. Just east of midnight.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Balcony Show, and we are here in studio with Jimmy Leahey.
Greetings.
So, you have shared the stage with John Waite, Patti
Yes.
Smythe, one of my favorites, gotta say.
Yes.
Chris Gaggle, help me out. Is
Cagle.
it Cagle?
Chris Cagle, yes.
Alison Krauss, Glenn Burtnick,
Yes.
Jill Rock Jones.
Yes. Look her up. She's
Wow.
great. Yeah.
Grammy Award-winning Dionne Farris.
Yeah,
And
also great.
you've been on the Jay Leno Show, Good Morning America.
Yeah.
I mean, VH Classic, the Grand Ole
Yeah.
Opry. It's kind of like easier to ask you what you haven't done.
Yeah, right.
It's, it's amazing. It's been just such a fortunate, career for me, really. I've just been in the right place at the right time, really.
Well, I think your start with your father, who is a Grammy-winning jazzist,
That's right.
Harry Leahey. We have to mention him.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I got to say,
and my instructor, my teacher, really. So,
I watched a video of him, and you sound like him when you talk.
Oh, yeah.
You may not know that, but I was like,
What are
wait
the
a
chances?
minute. Yeah, I mean, really. But how did his music, and obviously he taught you,
Yes.
you started at age 7, 8,
7, yes.
and then got serious around the age of 14.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, I was a kid growing up, but I was serious pretty early on, and it was always a thing for me, but he was a very amazingly patient teacher. At times I was probably his worst student, but it didn't matter. I didn't have to worry about him. He would never yell if I had a bad. My mother, though, I'd come out and she'd be just like, so how did he do it, Harry? And my father would be going like, he could have practiced more, and then my mother would like, so I have to thank my mother for keeping me.
Giving you the boot?
Yeah.
Exactly.
The discipline.
But my father was a great influence.
How did the jazz music and then you studied classical for a while? You played classical. You were into that.
Sure.
How did that form into what you're doing now?
Yeah, I mean, it's I've had like so many different likes. I mean, when I started first playing guitar, it was in the late, it was like 1970, and so I was a young kid, and I was into, a lot of the acoustic-driven stuff, like all the Eagles and stuff. But at the same time, my father was this amazing jazz player who was touring all over, and we would all get in the station wagon and go and hear him playing with Phil Woods, and we saw him at Carnegie Hall with like Chet Baker and Jerry Mulligan.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
And that music, it just it's such an important part of my playing, because I've always strived to play jazz, but my peer, just wasn't happening with my peer group.
I can't imagine why.
Yeah. So like, so my first bands were like, Eagles and like CSN kind of, and James Taylor acoustically driven songs, so that's kind of what, I started playing at like during high school and after, but I've always pursued that, and my uncle on my mother's side's a classical guitarist and an upright jazz bass player. He's
cool.
I have music on my mother's side, actually. That's some really amazing players. He's still playing now. He's 86. My
for
uncle,
him.
Yeah,
Wow.
Amazing.
still playing gigs.
Wow.
And so I would play classical. I could read music. I started playing when I was 7. So by the time I was in high school, I could read music really well. So he would play classical gigs and just drag me along, and he would sit, in anywhere, like it would be like libraries and like and geriatric centers, and play classical music, and I was so I had that influence as well, my uncle's influence of classical.
But that was a good grounding, isn't it? For like you're kind of like a leg up, like when somebody presents you with a piece of music, I know a lot of guys go to YouTube
Yeah.
and listen.
My father was he taught at William Patterson and Jersey State College, and so he was a strict teacher. So it was like reading, and you had to learn how to read, So that just became a really useful tool for me later on, and it adds value to you for sure. I do a lot of studio work, and I get sent charts, and I got like a call, and I played with Gloria Gaynor, and they sent me the charts, and I just showed up at the gig and just sat there, and then we could have music on stage, and and it's so like to have that ability to read music, and if you don't read music, you got a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
You
Well,
got
that's
a lot of memorizing.
Yeah.
for kids learning or any musician, I guess, any kids that are going to these like art high schools, I mean, they really focus on the theory. They have to. I mean, that's the foundation, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to know how to read a note to be great. I mean, some of my favorite guitar players like will not, will turn their amps off when there's music in front of them. But so it's not necessarily, you don't have to know how to read to be great. But for a working musician, it's helpful.
So
a
who's
lot of the guys
one...
who don't read kind of, they get squeamish when you start talking about it, and they're, but
who's the one person that you played with that you went, wow?
Oh man, yeah.
I mean, I know there's probably several, especially considering your career.
Yeah, there's a guy that who I still play to this day with. His name is Greg Hollister, and who's a bass player, singer, and in his back in the, I'd say, 70s and 80s, and he was a jingle singer also. So he's got this beautiful, big, rich voice, and he was singing like, have you driven a Ford lately?
No way!
He was like those guys, and
wow.
Like, he sang like Rickles helps you do it better.
I know.
So yeah, he was making a living off his voice. He's an amazing bass player. But so I was in a band with my cousin, and our keyboard player said, I found a bass player and who sings, and he's going to come down and play with you guys, and we're going to maybe do something. And he came down and he started playing and singing, and I was just like, it's a whole new level of, of playing for me. And he was a major influence on me. And the music that he chose was, difficult. It was kind of like jazz blues and he was a great influence on me.
So shout out to
shout out to Greg Hollister.
There you go. So the next
out there playing.
Next song that we have is "Learning to Crawl" with Glenn Burtnick.
Yes.
You want to set
Glenn
this song?
Burtnick is really like I can thank for all my successes outside of all my tour successes, because he was the guy who introduced me to John Waite actually, and because Glenn introduced me to John, I met Dennis. So I can thank Glenn a great deal for helping me out. And Glenn is an incredibly successful. You don't know the name.
You played
Glenn,
on this.
Glenn Burtnick. Yeah, I'm on this track. Yeah.
Palookaville.
Yes. This song in particular has like a million different styles of guitar on it. It's really it's over the top. And whenever we get together, we just played last summer. We'll get back together again here and there. But and we chose to do that song, and I'm just like I had to really work on that song because it's got so many different. It's got like funk and classical, and it's a amazingly busy song.
So there you have it. Even Jimmy Leahey has to work.
Yes, I gotta relearn all my parts whenever he calls to play again.
But he's Glenn is like all over the map.
Oh, he's all over the place.
He is.
Yeah, he wrote
constantly
"Sometimes
doing
Love's Not Enough" with Patti Smythe.
Yep.
It was through Glenn that I played with Patti Smythe.
Right.
Right. Wow.
So
it's amazing.
It truly is who you know.
Oh,
One connection leads
Huge.
Yes.
Huge.
He's a big one.
I'm a huge fan of Patti Smythe.
Yeah.
That was, she was like breakout for when I was growing up. You know what I mean? Like women didn't. Yeah, no, she was.
Yeah, I mean that was the warrior.
Yeah,
I love her. Yeah, she has a great voice. I love her voice.
Horses, the whole.
Yeah.
But anyways,
she's great.
We're gonna take a listen to "Learning to Crawl" with Glenn Burtnick off of Palookaville, and we'll be right back with Jimmy Leahey.
When it came to love, I thought I knew it all. I played the game until I dropped the ball. Now I'm all grown up just like a man, just a child inside that can barely stand, and I'm learning to crawl. to fall. When it comes to love, I don't know much at all. Here I am back up against the wall. I've been here before, but I chose not to see. The truest love's the one that brings you to your knees. Now I'm learning to crawl. Yeah. I flew too high when I was young, but the air grew thin up close to the sun, and I came down hard, but it broke the chain. Now I'm free to start from scratch again. I'm learning to crawl. When it comes to love, I don't know nothing at all. And I had to set myself up for this fall to get back to you. I will learn to crawl.
And we are back on the Balcony Show, and right now, well, not right now. Hell, we've been just talking again, Jimmy Leahey.
The air's getting thin in here.
I guess I'm used to my normal modus operandi that I forget where the hell I'm at. I'm not used to having somebody sitting here the entire time.
Yeah, and throwing
Pretty
you
cool.
off your game.
Right, and you know, and I gotta give you some credit here because they're abusing me a hell of a lot less
Oh, are they?
with you here.
Wow, you're all on your best behavior.
That's what I'm saying. It's like a miracle.
Yeah, this is the best.
Yeah. So I
Come
got,
on, I can handle it. Don't hold back.
So I got to ask, like, you know, everybody always has like their dream collaboration, you know. So who would be yours, whether it be
goodness.
living or dead? You know, if you were able to have that one collaboration.
Oh my gosh. That's a really hard question for me, really. I start thinking of different genres of music.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I have no morals. I listen to like everything, really. But I don't know.
Oh shit, man! I stumped Jimmy.
You stumped me, man.
Well, you said let you have it, so there we did.
See, in my
We
head,
unleashed the Mad
in my
Cat
head,
on
I'm
you.
thinking he's got to have one. He's going to fire right off, and now I'm saying,
I mean, my likes have been so broad, you know, that I don't know.
All right, as a
where-
teacher in
Yeah.
high school, like what was...
When I was in high school, I was listening to more jazz, believe it or not, than I
Wow.
am now. So I was a big Pat Metheny like head back then, and so
Okay.
like that was the records, and like bands like you know, like well, guys like Steve Morse from like the Dixie Dregs, and so it was like a lot of that fusion. So you know, heavy guitar playing, you know.
Okay, but you did kind of do something like that at the Bon Jovi picnic. You have
Yeah.
to tell everybody this story.
Oh yes, that's
this
right.
is a cool.
This was a good one, but he would never collaborate with me. So I would have said that because I am a huge Beatle fan. I mean, obviously, but a big influence on me. One of my first records that my father bought me was Spacing Out Again. But the oh Jesus!
What's the
Christ,
cover
I'm
look
in
like?
trouble.
What's the cover look like?
What's the cover look like? It's black and white. It's got like Abbey Road. It was Abbey Road.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, but it was so the yeah. So I was playing with a guy from the Jersey Shore, a guy named Bob Berger, who's like kind of a magnet down there, and friends of Glenn Burtnick and everything, and they write a lot together. And he got a call to be the house band at Bon Jovi's Labor Day party. So I was playing with Bob at the time, and so we got the gig to go to Bon Jovi's house, and whoever, it was just a Labor Day backyard party. It was nothing. There wasn't even security there, but we were in East Hampton, so it's a long way for criminals to go, So we get there and we're setting up, and we knew certain people were coming. We knew like Billy Joel was going to be there, so we had we knew like who else was there? Like Roger Waters was there.
Wow.
So we were picking. They had them pick songs to play, and we were prepared to play with some of these people, and Jimmy Buffett was there.
That's a hell of a backyard barbecue.
Right?
Yeah, these are all his friends.
Why weren't we invited?
Well, these are all.
Where was this?
I mean, this is East Hampton. These are the neighbors.
Wow.
They just
Yeah,
kind of,
that's-
they all live
Yeah.
around there, I guess, or had houses.
How did you not get starstruck? Like, oh,
It was
wait.
crazy. Bruce
Yeah.
was there. Howard Stern was there. And then the guests out there.
The whole
like,
Long Island posse.
Yeah,
That's
Katie
it.
Couric and Matt Lauer. I was back in those days. But,
Oh, wow.
but so anyway, so there all of a sudden, Bon Jovi comes out and he while we're setting up, and it goes like, I don't know if it's going to happen, but Paul McCartney maybe coming. I'm just letting you guys know. And so we're like all like, oh, oh my God, like so we're up there playing, and and Billy Joel gets up and plays, and it was just like a jam session. Like, there was, so we played some Roger Waters songs, and Billy Joel got up and we're going, and Bon Jovi's just like, let's do one of your songs, Billy. And, and Billy's like, I don't want to play my songs. Let's do an Eagles song. So I played like Take It Easy with like Billy Joel. It was just surreal.
cool.
So the whole night was fun.
Wow, that's really neat.
And then all of a sudden, like out of like it was starting to get dark, and like this person jumps on stage right in front of me, and it's Paul McCartney. So which was a thrill. And so we got to play 6 songs with Paul.
That is absolutely
Wow.
fantastic.
He was like air guitarring with me, and it was just.
Oh, that is so
It was
amazing. Do
an
you have
amazing
pictures
night.
of that? Do you have any pictures?
There's a picture on my website of with me standing there like looking stupid like next to Paul McCartney and Bon Jovi. They're like singing on a microphone, and there weren't many pictures because it was all like stars, and like nobody had cameras out. So if you look up on the internet, I was looking, of course, to try to find as many pictures as possible, but there were like 3 or 4 pictures of the entire night. That was it.
Wow.
Nobody
Wow.
took pictures.
Which is kind of cool because they were in the moment. that
Yeah,
day.
yeah. Everybody's riding the vibe.
So you were doing your
Backyard
job.
barbecue.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun, and I happened to be in one of those pictures, thank God, with Paul, because
That's
there was
awesome.
proof,
Oh, that's
and I got
awesome.
like red eye and everything. It's a funny picture, but I put it on my website. of
Oh,
course.
that's really
Absolutely.
neat.
That is fantastic.
And
Wow, I
with
just thought that was a-
Waters there, we were playing, and while we were playing Take It Easy, Roger Waters was playing guitar next to me, and I don't even know if he plays guitar. He's like a bass player, really, and he's looking at me going like, I don't know this song. So like I'm yelling chords to Roger Waters like while I'm playing with Billy Joel.
That's
an
freaking
Eagles
beautiful.
Song, it was just
That is
That's
beautiful.
so surreal.
such a weird time. But thank you to Bob Berger
Yeah.
who's another super talented Jersey guy that is worth and songwriter. And I've written songs with him, and I still play with him to this day.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So
Cool.
I had to mention that because I just
Yeah.
thought that was really. That does not happen to many people.
Yeah.
No.
That's like a once in a lifetime
Yeah,
kind of.
that's
band
so-
bond. Everybody in that band, who are great people too. Like, that's our bond. Like, we got to play with Paul.
Right.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
happy. But the drummer that was Jerry Gaskell from King's X.
Oh, my-
I love that band.
Right.
Love.
Yeah.
I saw King's X
Yeah.
at L'Amour's in Brooklyn before King's X was even. I don't like nobody even knew. I just remember they had such an impact on me because the three of them were in. They're so intensely powerful.
Great band.
One
great
of my all-time
vocals.
favorite bands ever.
Yeah, they're great. He's a Jersey guy, Jerry. And I get to play with him. I got to play with him maybe a month ago at just outside at a bar down the Jersey Shore.
All right,
which is-
let me know. Yeah, thank you.
Cool.
So,
Yeah,
I pinch myself to be around these great people. Really.
Oh, they're phenomenal musicians.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But so are you,
So
Jimmy.
are you.
Yeah.
I've been, out of the lifetime, So.
Yeah. Oh, we gotta make a little plug here for anybody in the Leahey Valley. If you have not seen Jimmy play out, you've got to experience.
Yeah, when
just
you
to
hear
even,
when you hear musicians standing around going, I can't believe how is he doing
yeah.
that?
Oh,
so
yeah.
that's a testament to how really
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
you
And
are.
it's
It's
enjoyable.
fun.
Yeah.
It's
So
just
fun.
a really great time.
Just don't ask me to play it again because
So up next we have the song Big Fish from
Yes.
the Alice Project with Alice Leon.
love her.
What a super talent.
She's
I
awesome.
love this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really dig
Her
her.
Yeah.
voice is incredible.
I met her. She had a Sony deal when I first met her. Yeah, so that was it was a thrill getting to meet her and play on her songs at the time. And then we wound up writing 5 records together. So we've done a lot of writing,
Wow.
and probably my most successful songwriting has been through her. We've gotten songs in movies and gummy bear commercials and Sports Illustrated commercials and things like that.
I mean, she's insanely talented.
She's really great.
Yeah.
And what a just marvelous person she is. So positive, and it just pours out of. If you go to see her play, you're just you'll love her even more.
Well, she's definitely
So-
on my list of people I want to see
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
thank you for introducing.
Is she currently playing out?
Yeah.
I'll
I mean,
have
not
to-
as much as she was. She lives in Congers, New York now, so we don't play as much as we were, but we're still playing. And we still get together and play
Right.
gigs together. We just did something less than a month ago at a vineyard up in Suffern, New York.
So watch the
interesting.
JimmyLeahy.com.
Yes, yeah,
Oh.
JimmyLeahy.com. I have my schedule up. It's usually correct.
We're gonna be hawking it, Bo and I.
Call the venue just to make sure that this blonde is no act.
And this is off of the album Overnight Success.
That's right. And this song is at the time we were writing these songs. I had just gotten into digital guitar systems and I had done we were talking about this during pizza, but I did the Tommy Shaw Rock to the Rescue show, and they didn't need another guitar player. There was a million guitar players, so they bought me a digital guitar system, and this does have to do with this song, but and so I plugged through the system, and nothing came out sounding like guitar. I was playing synth lines, and so that day I played Night Ranger synth with Jack Blaze.
Oh, wow.
And I played harmonica. So I was playing through this unit, and and I was playing with Felix Cavalieri. I was doing it would be grooving, and I'd be ba ba ba, it was all
that's so neat.
I'm standing there with a strap, but nothing sounded like a strap. It was so weird. So Big Fish, it has I'm using that system on it. So all the the synth stuff is me on guitar actually, and piano and everything, and it's actually a Strat. So that whole thing is.
So they gave you a new toy and
Yes.
you took it home.
And I used it on this track, but a great song that we wrote together. I love it. Yeah.
All right, so we're going to break, take a listen to Big Fish from the Alice Project off of the Overnight Success album. Take a listen. You're going to love it. We'll be right back.
If I was alone on a desert island, I might decide to call myself king. I'd control all the legislation. I'd build a palace and call it Alice. 'Cause
Welcome back to the Balcony Show. We have Jimmy Leahey with us tonight. And Jimmy, set up for us the track Where Are All the Words from the Alice Project.
Yeah. We recorded this at my friend's Anthony Kryzan's studio, actually. I don't know if you know Anthony Kryzan. He's another Jersey guitar player. He played with the Spin Doctors and for a bunch of years, but a friend of mine. And this song, Alice and I wrote the song, and right before going into the studio, the drummer said, "We should play this in 7/4."
Of course.
We were just like, what? So we started playing it, and it was and it became that. So this song it was a odd meter time song, and but still kind of adult contemporary pop sounding, and so it was a lot of fun to play, and we had to learn how to count in 7.
That's important. Well, everybody take a listen to Where Are All the Words by the Alice Project coming up.
Quieting down, it's my turn to spill my guts and bend your ear. With all my worn out cliches gather near as I infer my message. I thought I was a poet. I guess you'd hardly know that. So where are all the words I was going to say? The cat has got my tongue. Where are all the words when I finally see you? I've got nothing to say. As I watch the campaign envelop me, they're asking me to listen. Anticipation's killing me this time. They promised us some substance. Lucy's got the ball again, and I'm about to kick it home. So where are all the words you were going to say? The cat has got your tongue. Where are all the words when I finally see you? You've got nothing to say. Thought I was a poet. I guess you'd hardly know that. So where are all the words I was going to say? The cat has got your tongue. Where are all the words when I finally see you? You've got nothing to say. Where are all the words? Where are all the words? Where are all the words when I finally see you? You've got nothing to say.
Welcome back to the Balcony Show. We're here with Jimmy Leahey. Hey, you're hanging in there, dude.
I'm doing okay. Just tilt me.
You feel like you're on a
If I'm starting to tilt, just let me know.
like you're on the stand. He's taking the stand. You're a witness,
We're
Jimmy.
all
You're a
watching
witness.
you.
That's right.
That's what I'm
Where's
saying.
my lawyer?
We'll know you're fading when they just go right back to abusing me.
You actually have the night off, Mad Cat.
I
How does
know.
it feel?
Man, what a
Pretty
week
good.
it's
You
been.
love it.
This is a gift.
We're giving
admit it.
we're giving
Thank
Love
you for
the
this
abuse.
gift, Jimmy.
we're giving the Tic Tac a rest.
The Tic Tac needs a rest.
The Yodel. He's got all different kinds of names.
It's never ending, man.
No,
It's never ending.
I don't even know how we get there half the time either, to tell you the
they're
truth.
keeping you humble, man.
Yeah, that's our job. Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah.
Right, Bo?
Oh, yeah. Oh, stop it. You love it.
So the final song that we're going to play is, I happen to really like
Yes, I like it too.
No Pity on the Highway, Radio Exile.
Yes.
Tell us about Radio
Okay,
Exile.
so the kind of the brains behind that band is a guy, Charlie Calv, who I went to high school with. And he was like much younger. He's like 4 years younger. So I never really played with Charlie Calv back in the day. But I have a cousin who was in a band with him, and they were kind of like they were like a pretty big band in my town, and my cousin was a drummer, and Charlie is a keyboard player who now plays with Angel, the band Angel,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yep. And so he's had some great success as well. But so I didn't see Charlie for like years and years, and my son, who's a musician, and we had moved from the town, and my son wound up befriending his son. So it was like all of a sudden, the Calv name shows up again because my son's now best friends with his son, and they didn't even know that when he showed up at the house. He's my name's Jesse, what? And he said Jesse Leahey, and he goes, you're related to Jimmy, and he goes, that's my father, and it was so. So we started, hanging out, and he has these projects and calls me every once in a while on some project work, and this thing came up, and just a bunch of great players like Chandler Mogul on vocals. The guy's just
Wow.
Incredible singer. Charlie, I think, wrote most of the songs with Chandler, and it was just a session that they called me on, and I went in, and it was a pretty rockin' record, and
I'm like,
the potential for a Europe tour, but which never happened. But
I'm like, where are these guys?
yeah,
Like, this
Yeah.
is really, really good.
there's another record that started, that I'm on tracks for, but I'm not sure. So maybe there'll be another one. But the whole record,
Yeah.
the whole record's pretty rocking like that, and the singer, is just very unique. And all great people, and and getting to hang with Charlie was a lot of fun because we've known each other since we were kids, So it was a great town of music that I grew up with. We had, some great, even some great. My father obviously went to school there, and he was really successful. But there was a Bill Evans who's like just a giant in the jazz world, keyboardist, was from our town, and it just there was just a lot of music, and
Well, you come from music. You have
Yeah.
music all in your family. Your siblings do music.
Yeah.
Your children.
it was it was how to stay involved whenever we had family get-togethers, I guess, but but the school is also, I have to say, that township, it was North Plainfield we went to school with. They had a really great music program, and you could get out of anything, geometry tests, because if you had all of a sudden I have like a pit orchestra rehearsal, I wouldn't have to take my geometry test. They'd let you that shit doesn't happen anymore.
No,
no, that's unheard of.
Yeah, so back then it was just, they were really into letting kids, if you were into the arts, they pushed you, and that's unfortunately taken a back seat, over the years.
Yeah.
And even my kid one year in middle school, they lost the funding for their music and art teacher, and luckily an anonymous donor paid their salaries for a couple years before they wound up getting rehired.
Wow.
So that's what we're up against.
Yeah, I know.
It's pretty crazy.
No, it is crazy.
But that was not my experience growing up. And,
Damn.
And so, what a career! What a career!
it's been busy.
What do
Check
we
these
have
bags
to look?
out. I don't know
How,
what
yeah. What? I don't know. Is there anything else that? What do you have coming up? What are you excited about?
Well,
what do you want to do?
Yeah. I mean, I'm working on my own record. Actually, I'd like to do something on my own. So like I'm in the midst of writing, my own thing. So I'd like to get that out of the way. So I have at least one thing with my name on it. So I'm in the process of that. I'm looking forward to going back to touring with Dennis again, which is the plan in February. And I'm really close friends with everybody in the band, especially August. I get together and it's like, they try to keep us away, but we're always the last men standing, and and the last ones to lobby in the morning and stuff. But
Wow, hey,
yeah, so I'm looking forward to that again.
Young at heart.
Yeah,
Keep
exactly.
Keep living it. You know what? You only get one
That's it.
turnaround.
Yeah, I don't want to go to bed. I want to stay up.
That's right.
Well, I want to thank you
Oh, thank you.
from the bottom of my heart for spending time with us here on the show.
I appreciate your interest.
It really
and,
means the world to us.
And it means a lot to me to sit down and a trip down memory lane a little bit, but I've loved it all, and I'm glad my kids are into it, and music is just such a huge part of my life, and to be
I
able
think
to
that's
do it
what's
for a
going to
living
heal.
has been
I think that's
blessing.
what's going to heal this planet.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think
Well, we need, that's why we need talented musicians to step up.
right.
The stuff that they're playing on the radio now. Dude, I mean,
Yeah, well,
Radio's
you
tough,
can't
but
you can't listen to the radio.
And the internet's like slam full of great stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dig
you
the
have
internet,
to-
folks.
You have
Dig
to
the
find
internet.
it. Yeah,
But that's the beauty too of the internet, and even radio shows at like ours and podcasts, and even just you look at the sheet that Ann put together, and you're hitting all these different bands that we otherwise would never have heard of.
Yeah.
I didn't know about the Alice Project until she mentioned it, and
gives
freaking
you-
out over the No Pity on the Highway song, and
Yeah.
I'd never even heard of that either. So
It gives you a little more freedom to
Yes.
promote yourself, but because it's such a large sea, that's a problem too. So it has its cons, and the con that like no two kids in America have the same playlist anymore is a definite con, because these bands have a hard time supporting themselves, because back when we were listening to music, it was just like these 10 albums came out and that's it. So we all had like at least 8 of those 10 records,
Right, yeah.
So it was like those bands just had great success because we weren't being fed so much, So,
Yeah.
so that's
Well, and the problem is we're also not being fed all the best.
right.
You know what I mean? Like you had, in order
Yeah.
to get to the point where you were recorded, and I
Yes.
can really testify to this.
Yeah.
You had to have
Something
some
special.
talent.
That's
you
right.
had to have some talent to get into a recording
Yeah.
studio and get your stuff, at least for
That's
the most
right.
part. Now,
Yeah.
I can't even tell you. There's days I'll call her up and I'll just say, my ears are bleeding,
Yeah.
because you got to give everybody a shot.
Right.
You want to do the right thing and
Yeah.
listen to everything, and we get a lot of people coming through our show. Thank you, everybody, for submitting, but some of them, my God.
They need direction, they need help, and a lot of these DIY artists, especially younger, they don't know how to navigate the noise.
Right.
And actually, I was going to do, if I have an indie radar on this show, I'm actually going to talk about that, because so many kids are growing up relying just on social media, and it can't be.
No.
You don't need a major label anymore to maybe find an audience, but you can't. Like social media can't just be it.
No.
No.
So what would you tell a young person, and what have you told your own kids about the business?
I mean, really, to me, it's always about keeping it fun and keeping it loose. Like I've been fortunate to be in, like, really most of my band experiences have been with good people, which is not easy to find sometimes. I've had some bad experiences, but the bands that I play with, I still play with my high school bands there locally, they're, I've met them in like second grade. I mean, I've been playing guitar 1 year. I could, I was, playing Mary Had a Little Lamb, I think, or something. But so it's I think you have to believe in yourself, and you have to keep it fun, because once it becomes a job, it shows really.
I agree.
But,
I agree.
yeah.
Well, again, I want to thank you. Follow Jimmy Leahey on Facebook. Check out the videos. You're going to love it. For more information, go to jimmyleahey.com.
Thank you.
And
Yes.
definitely the music that we played, all of it's on Spotify. You can find it through the website. You're going to want to download all of these. There's literally nothing, like we're serving it up. It's like a smorgasbord tonight.
Yeah.
There's something for everybody
yeah.
there.
Yeah, it's a variety. I've had a hard time nailing down like what I like to play the most. So.
All right.
So, well, thank you.
I'm going to bid you good night then, sir, and
Appreciate
thank you.
everybody here at the balcony.
Cheers,
Thank
man.
you.
Thank you for deflecting the target off.
Oh, gee, wah, wah, wah.
That's what I'm saying.
All right, so we're going to end things tonight with the song No Pity on the Highway from Radio Exile off of their self-titled item, Radio Exile. Take a listen to one of my favorite jams from Jimmy Leahey. Good night, everybody, from the Balcony Show. We'll catch you next week.
and that's what's up.